It's the Red Arrows! Red 1 calls the team into short diamond formation as Red 8 and 9 tuck in to form our famous Diamond 9 formation shape. Red 1 is squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his second year leading the team, but he was a wingman with the Red Arrows from 2005 to 2007 and culminated in leading the synchro pair. He is a former Jaguar weapons instructor and Jaguar display pilot. His most recent role has been working with the Royal Saudi Air Force's equivalent to the Red Arrows, where he was their official advisor. Now you'll see the 3 aircraft on each wing drop back to form the shape of Eagle. The shape is named after the American fighter jet, the F-15 Eagle. We've introduced it to the display this year to say thanks to the support from the US forces during the Battle of Britain on the Eagle squadrons, and also to commemorate the arrival of the US 8th and 9th Air Forces in Europe. To the right hand side now, this is the Eagle roll. Boys and girls, as the parachutes come towards you, the pilots can't see you, so get waving. The majority of our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side and the even-numbered pilots on the right-hand side. Red 6 and 7, the synchro pair, tend to sit directly behind the leader. On the bottom of the formation now is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. Purdy's in his second year with the team and is the team's executive officer. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and was the solo Hawk display pilot. And operationally he flew the Harrier JAR-9 over Afghanistan. The smoke goes off now, the winds have dropped back one more position to form the shape of the iconic supersonic airliner. And as they come left, some red, white and blue to show the very best of British. This is Concorde. Carried out by 617 Squadron on the night of the 16th of May 1943. Those brave air crews flew their 19 Lancaster bombers deep into enemy territory to drop their bouncing bombs. With the smoke on now, the team are forming the shape of the Lancaster bomber. It's worth noting that 617 are still operating today by the Tornado GR4 from RAF Waddington. So from the left-hand side now, to commemorate 70 years since the Dambusters, this is Lancaster. Dambusters squadron. Red 3, who's on the leader's left wing now, is Squadron Lieutenant Mark Lawson. It's his first year with the team. He completed his first tour in the Royal Air Force, flying with 617 Squadron, where he flew operationally over Iraq and Afghanistan, before transferring to 9 Squadron, and also flying Afghanistan and over Libya in 2011. The smoke's back on now, we're reforming another shape, this time Apollo, which is our tightest shape. The jets here are around 5 to 6 feet apart. If they come in from your right-hand side to fly the Apollo roll. Lots of waving again, boys and girls, as the aircraft come out and around. Now is Red 2, another of our first year pilots. That's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. Ollie is another former Tornado GR4 pilot. and has also completed a tour as a Hawk flying instructor, teaching advanced flying training to students at RAF Valley on Anglesey. The smoke's back on now as the team form another shape, this time Typhoon, aims to depict the delta wing platform of the Royal Air Force's multi-role combat aircraft, the Eurofighter Typhoon. We now have 4 frontline squadrons of Typhoons, whose duty it is to protect the airspace of both the UK and the Falkland Islands. It's on the left-hand side now, this is the Typhoon loop. Pulling up at 4G, or 4 times the force of gravity at 400 miles an hour. Down to around 150 miles an hour now as they reach a height of 6,000 feet in a shape called Cygnus. In the middle of the left-hand wing is the last of our first-year pilots. That's Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve is another former Hawk flying instructor, and was eventually posted to the Harrier GR9, and unfortunately only spent a short time flying the jet before it was taken out of service, and he transferred to the Tornado GR4 and flew over Libya during Operation Elemi in 2011. The smoke onto our right now, the team are forming another shape, this time Big Vixen, named after the 1960s naval fighter, the Sea Vixen. As they come in at 400 miles an hour, they fly the Big Vixen roll. Of the first half of the Red Arrows display this year, where you see close pulling up in Fred at 4G and 400 miles an hour. Here is your right and Jippo to left. This is the 5-4 place. Now, as they complete an oblique loop, and they're about to form a shape called Leader's Benefit, which for the observers among you is the front wing of the Lancaster bomber we saw earlier. So I'll talk a little bit more about 617 Squadron now, which was formed in only March 1943, just 2 months before the Dambusters raids took place, and that was formed at our home base at RAF Scapton, just up the other side of Lincoln. During the Second World War, the 6 series squadrons were reserved for specialist squadrons like 617, but nowadays the 6 series squadrons are used for our Royal Air Force reserve units. These reserve units supplement the regular Royal Air Force services, and if you're interested in joining the Royal Air Force Reserve, they have a stand here at Waddington, or you can search online for RAF Reserves. Now look directly to your front, get your cameras ready for Chip. He's going to fly in between Enid's feet as they perform the goose. To maintain speed, and in turn that higher power setting is a very deep red and blue colour, as you can see as he this is the the vertical break. Watch as they cross, each pilot changes his smoke colour. The barrel rolls towards us with some more red, white and blue to leave a snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Typhoon. Smoke changes white. We're producing that smoke by injecting regular diesel fuel into the aircraft's exhaust, which burns at around 400 degrees, and that causes the diesel to vaporise. To get the red and blue, we simply add a dye to the diesel, and we can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue, an especially modified tank for each aircraft. So now, as upside down, as reds 8 and 9 roll around them in the corkscrew. Very hard then. The inside pilots perform tight match rolls as they fly the rollbacks. In the Jippo break. And we are the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. You enjoyed the display this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft will be coming in from your right-hand side in that big battle formation I described earlier. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Red Arrows motto on our crest is Éclat, which means excellence. We strive for exactly that, and I hope you think we've achieved it here today. Into the right-hand side now in big battle formation. The last chance to get a photograph of the Red Arrows here at RAF Waddington this afternoon. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, not too fast in the steering.